Show here on the 22nd, Saturday of May 2022, and we got the same kind of skies like yesterday. The boys and I, we took a nice hike last night about 8 o'clock, and we got back here just in time because, man, did it start coming down. It's tough to sleep last night because the roofs that they put in these houses, they don't offer you any insulation, so it's incredibly loud up there. It's just ridiculous how loud it is. So if you're going to get a place here, make sure you insulate your roof if you can't take the noise. But I was looking on the news here, and they had this one chicken farmer. They came in and said he needed to destroy all of his chickens, and it was a substantial amount of chickens. And they wanted to pay him double of what he was getting. They didn't say it had any kind of a bird flu or anything like that. They just said destroy him and we'll pay you double. So the dude, when he's saying he's thinking about it, he's, you'd be adding to it if you did, buddy. That's all I gotta say. But they're throwing this monkeypox in. I actually looked that up, and it's something that only happened close to the jungle in Africa. So, what is it? They have flying monkeys now that are flying over the cities, and I don't know, pooping and peeing or something. Said you had to be in close proximity to them, and it was, they got to be introducing this kind of stuff. And, kind of like the Gates Final Solution, I guess is what it is. This is all, history repeats itself, guys. That's the way it is. So, but you look at, and I think history is going to repeat itself with this Durham thing too. Because they've been after the Clintons for as long as I can remember, all the way back to Mena, Arkansas, and they never get them. Slick Willie and Hillary, and I just got a feeling that it's a lot of flapping of the jaw. Now they say, oh, she okayed this thing and blah blah blah. And is anything going to come of it? Probably not. There's too many skeletons in all these people's closet. It'll just silently go away, or the next big thing that's coming, like with the monkeypox and all this kind of crap that they're spewing. So. And then the other thing, like the big thing in the news, these men having babies in one of these modeling agencies. They got some pregnant dude and all this. Give me a break. They're just trivializing women. They're taking, this place women have had, but they've been on an attack of women for as long as I can remember. Look at what happens through a divorce. They empower them for that. They give money to leave, just like this chicken farmer. They want to give him money to kill all the chickens. Well, they want to give a woman money if she leaves her old man. First, she cleans him out. Then she can get welfare. She can get all this other stuff. They want to make it to take the man out of society, the protector of the women. And they've been doing this for as long as I can remember. I personally don't think there should be any divorce or anything like that. You marry him, you should be stuck with him. Unless they cheat on you. That's one of the things that's okay. But that just seems to me the way it should go. And the other thing in the news too, the federal judge, I think it was in Louisiana. I don't know who appointed the judge or anything, but they didn't say. But they blocked them getting rid of Title 42, which was put in quite a while ago under Trump. I think in 2018, something like that, to be able to stop people from coming in and getting rid of ones who come in that aren't citizens of the country for pandemic type stuff. And they blocked it. He wanted to get rid of that, let more people in. What this guy's been doing since he's been in. He goes in there and he bumbles and he fumbles, so everybody thinks nothing of it. But he's been dismantling this country one step at a time. You let all these people in to the country that don't have our values or anything like that. They let them in, they give them amnesty, they give them a green card, they let them vote. I mean, they're voting. They don't give a damn about the country. I knew when I was in California, there was a lot of people who cross the border and they come work. They're sending all their money home. it's just crazy. It just amazed me how they would do. Every penny goes back home, and they have no intention of staying in the States. You know, they don't care about the country. It's not their country. They want to go back to their own, but they want the money. See, and this guy's giving it to them, and all the crap the government pulls, like with the oil and all that stuff. You don't mess with this. You know, I remember when they started with Putin with the sanctions and about all, you know, strangling the oil. Well, if that's going to strangle him, why is he strangling us? You know, cutting all these leases. He's taking these leases away from the Gulf of Mexico, Alaska. I just saw a news show on there where one guy said they have the biggest reserve. It's bigger than anything ever found. And yeah, you know, gas should be incredibly cheap right now, but the money's been, you know, they inflated so much it's not worth anything.
I can go for a walk.
Yeah, I'm just walking right here, bub. But it's not worth anything. Look at what your money's buying right now. It's not buying nothing. Like I say, I said it on the video before. One lady said she went in there to buy a chuck roast. It was like $33. You know, you can't live on that. Now they're introducing this fake meat, and of course the price is pretty cheap. You don't want to be eating that stuff. What the heck? What's up with that? Synthetic meat? You know, what are they going to do to us? And I do believe, you know, you start looking at Hollywood, and a lot of stuff in Hollywood come true. You know, I always laugh at Men in Black when they go to the National Enquirer and all these rags that they have to get their news. Us, what do we got to do? We got to go to The Simpsons. Morning. So, yeah, and Hollywood just they put these movies out like Matrix. You know, that's kind of what we're in. And Soylent Green, will they be doing that next? Sure. You know, I did see this thing on McDonald's where they were serving this supposed to be people and all this stuff. Now I do know they're putting fetus parts in, Synotex or whatever they call that in the different foods. It's from fetuses. That's pretty horrible, but I am not buying this. I sure would love somebody to come out and say, hey, they tested the meat and yep, it was positive or something like that, but you don't see it. Now, one thing that Russia did, all the McDonald's are leaving there. Boy, that'll help the health of the people, I'm sure, because we know the food's definitely not healthy. You look at a lot of people that eat it, and you look at how many overweight and obese people there are, and that's going worldwide, you know. And you got to start looking at when that started and when it happened, you know, with all this fast food that came up and tons of meat and stuff. I look at some of these people down in Mindoro. They don't eat that much meat. It's you know, they eat a lot of fruits and veggies on a regular basis. They're lean. They look good. I didn't see too many real fat people down there because of their diet, and they don't do a lot of meat. That's a special treat. Like when we were there, they butchered a chicken, and I did like the chicken. Plus they had ducks down there. I don't particularly like duck. We had one here. Our buddy said, hey, we're going to cook a duck, and my wife and I had some. Kids didn't eat it, and we had the duck. And I know why they call it foul, because man, we stunk. The next day, it was just coming out of our pores, our armpits. We were just stinky as could be. So, good name for it, foul. But they don't age the stuff here either. That's part of the problem. You know, here it's even with some of the meats here, like when they do the carabao meat, they chop that stuff up right away. And I remember when I was doing cows, we'd hang them for like 9 days. You know, you got to let the enzymes tenderize the meat. And you do get some meat here that it's almost unchewable. We've ran into some. Faye got some soup meat the one time, and we pressure cooked it, which usually really tenderizes the meat. Pressure cooked it, then she made a really nice soup, and this meat was just, I mean, it was like chewing on a shoe. It was really tough. But that's what you run into. They don't have the air conditioning, you might say, facilities to age the meat properly here. So, but we did have a heck of a rain last night. I hope that you know, this rainy season doesn't last long. I remember the year that Geronimo was born. We went into like the day before he was born. Well, or actually early in the day. And we were there for a couple days. I think we came out on the 21st or 22nd, and it was raining when we came out, and it rained all except for 3 days, all the way through the new year. I mean, I was just ready to go. You know, I don't mind the rain, but when it's just daily, continuous rain, I just wasn't liking it. But hey, he was born in the rainy season. I see that they're getting rain's hitting pretty much everywhere here. I watched Westpac WX weather, and he said this should continue throughout the week. And then you look at today, you wouldn't think it's going to rain, but this is the exact clouds we had yesterday. And then they had like a, I wouldn't call what they had here in, I believe it was in Cavite, Trace Martinez. They showed it like it was a tornado. It wasn't really a tornado. It was more like a, what do they call that? A dust devil, something like that. I don't think it was a tornado, but they had a big one over in Germany. Do I think they're modifying the weather? Yeah, they've been doing that for a long time with all this HAARP stuff, and it's just what they're going to do. But they could do it over some dry places so you can get some crops, but they're not going to do that. They don't want that. They want these food shortages, and they're doing it big time in the U.S. Here, we really haven't noticed the prices going up drastically like they are in the States. The gas is a lot. Yesterday I looked at 2 stations. It was 74 pesos per liter. So you got to figure that's $1.50 for a quart. So look what we're paying. We're paying $6. $6 for a gallon here. I'm glad we got the bike. And hi, baby.
Can I make brownies?
Yes. Did you eat all? You got to eat all the cake first. But the car is really efficient. I don't know why you can get cars here that are super efficient, but I think they deliberately formulate the fuel and stop the cars up in the U.S. so that they don't get the good mileage that they do here. Now this is a 1500cc motor, but I'm telling you what, it's got all the power you could want in just a little sedan. I would venture to call it a sports sedan because it really handles well, and it's got plenty of power, all you want. When that cam changes, if you do need to get on the pedal and the RPM start getting up a little bit, hi baby, and it starts getting up a little bit, boy, it really just starts pulling hard. I mean, so it's great, a great little car, and I'm getting always over 40 miles to the gallon in it. When we did just the highway trip, it was like 48. You know, because we filled up, then we drove all the way up to San Jose on the highway. I just did 100 kilometers per hour, and then we drove around up there just a small bit, and then we came back the next day, and I filled up again at the same pump, and it came out to 48 miles to the gallon. So that's not too bad. I'm not real heavy-footed though when I drive. You know, even when I was young, because I had, you know, I did buy a small Ford Escort with a 1900. It was basically the wife's car though. But I had big V8s. I had the big monstrous V8s because they were cheap. You know, you found a Pinto, 4-cylinder Pinto was still real expensive, or a Gremlin. I had a 6-cylinder Gremlin too, but the big V8s, you know, with Buick 455s and the Ford 460s, they were giving them away, you know, super cheap. And the 472 Cadillacs and stuff, those were the cheap cars. I mean, you could get a laid to the bone, beautiful one, no rust, everything working for, you know, $800-900 back then. So you make your payments at the pump, like my brother always said. So I learned how to keep my foot real light on the pedal. Otherwise, I remember back then to fill the tank on a big Cadillac was $35, and I was shocked. I was like, holy cow, that's a lot of money. Now you're seeing these people paying $100 and some dollars. So look what happened to your money, guys. Your money's worthless, and this guy's smashing it. Of course, he's going to blame it on Putin, but way before. And I still blame Trump for signing that bill. It was 2.2 up to $6 trillion, $6.2 trillion. They say 2.2, baloney. So the country's so far in debt, the money's not going to be worth a crap. Other countries around the world are going on to the gold standard. We're going to get left behind. The reserve currency is going to go. We're going to go the way of Greece, Sri Lanka, all these countries. We're just, and Venezuela, same thing. Oh, it can't happen in the U.S. Baloney. It's happening right before your eyes, guys. That's exactly what's going down right now. The money's being devalued so much. They said back in Germany it would take you a wheelbarrow of money just to get a loaf of bread. They did it by the pound, you know. And will that happen in the U.S.? Sure. And they want to go to this digital currency so that they can watch every penny you do. I just saw some more stuff out of China, what the crap they're doing there. If you don't think that's going to come to the U.S., you're dreaming, guys. And this stuff with this WHO, the vote's going to be it's 22nd here today, but they're supposed to have a vote on that. And they'll give up the sovereignty, and there won't be a thing anyone can do about it because they're just going to do it. And a lot of countries now, they're swaying them. And the ones that don't want to do it, Brazil was one that said, screw that. So now they got a big fire by the airport stopping the planes, so they'll push that off. They'll push that vote off until they can coerce or do something to these people to get them to vote their way. That's coming, guys. Mark my words, they're going to do something to them, whether they mess with them with the IMF or threaten them with a war. I'm telling you, they'll do it, because right now they got fiat currencies they can spend like drunken sailors. That's, you know, it's just what they do. So it's a royal shame, but this is the world we're in right now, and this is revelation unfolding right before our eyes, guys. It's just what's happening. So hate to leave you on a dark note, but there is light at the end of the tunnel, because you know, when it all comes down to it, we'll never be given more than we can handle, and the good Lord will take us for eternity. That's what we have to look forward to, not the things on this earth. So this is Rick Shaw, out.